U.S. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall has indicated that Washington could consider providing Australia B-21 Raider long-range bombers if Canberra requested them, reported the Australian Strategic Policy Institute on August 23. The new chief of the Royal Australian Air Force, Air Marshal Robert Chipman, hosted Kendall in Canberra this week. Australian Strategic Policy Institute asked the USAF Secretary if the US would consider allowing Australia to join its development of the B-21 to provide the Royal Australian Air Force with a long-range strike capability, in response to which he said, "I think the United States, in general, would be willing to talk to Australia about anything that there was an interest in from the Australian perspective that we could help them with. If Australia required a long-range strike, and I think I'd turn it over to the Chief of Air Staff to talk about that, then we'd be willing to have a conversation with them about that," Kendall further said. So, while we might work with the US on B-21, that's a small part of an overall strike capability that we would need in Australia, said Chipman. The B-21 Raider is expected to be a heavy strategic bomber designed to carry both nuclear and conventional weapons. The Raider's size, stealth, structure, and onboard sensors remain unspecified. The USAF plans to arm the B-21 with the next-generation long-range standoff cruise missile for nuclear missions. For the nuclear missions, the Raider will first use its stealthy cruise missiles to clear a path through the enemy air defense network, then drop the nuclear gravity bombs on its targets. B-21 Raider could be a game-changer for Australia. The Australian government's 2020 Defence Strategic Update called for investment in long-range strike capabilities to counter China's growing threat to its security. Although China is 7,400 kilometers from Australia, Canberra perceives Beijing as a threat. It remains concerned about China's growing military capabilities and the prospect of getting dragged into a more significant US-China conflict in the Indo-Pacific region. As previously reported by the Eurasian Times, it plans to acquire the F-35A Lightning II, which will allow the Royal Australian Air Force to strike targets at ranges of up to 900 kilometers. However, the F-35A cannot reach the South China Sea without aerial refueling. Even then, in the middle of a conflict, the availability of aerial tankers is doubtful over contested airspace. China already has the long-range strike capability over all of Australia, including long-range bombers and missiles that could take out the F-35 as on the ground before they are even put into action. Therefore, B-21 Raider could be a game-changer for Australia, as it is said to have 3 or 4 times the range of F-35A according to Australian defence experts. If Australia had a squadron of 12 B-21s, it could dispatch a flight of 3 aircraft carrying around 30 long-range anti-ship missiles or 50 guided bombs in the morning and follow it up with another sortie in the afternoon. Thanks for watching.